Hi there guys, welcome back. Let's make some selections. Round 3, Wales versus England. A lot riding on this one. Wales 2 wins from 2. Can they keep their streak going? England are still looking to bounce back with that win versus Italy, but they need a big win as well. And this would be a big one for them. And if Wales to knock off England in this game, then they're on the road to the Grand Slam. So very exciting for them. In the front row, Wales pretty settled. Wyn Jones been playing very well. On reflection, maybe should have been in my Lions side at Loosehead on the form side. Owens playing well as well, and Francis their first choice tight head, nice and settled. That's good for them, plenty of experience as well. Second row wise, no need to change from Beard and Alan Wyn Jones. I've been watching Beard very closely. He uses his frame very well in the maul, in the tight. He is very annoying. He's a big lad, so very useful for him. And Alan Wyn Jones, just a picture of consistency for Alan Wyn Jones. Put him right back in the Lions frame as well. So that's good news for their front five, who are I was a little bit worried about their front five going into the tournament, but they've settled down nicely. Back row, now I don't know the injury update on Navidi, so I've put him as Wainwright / Navidi. Hopefully Navidi can come back. I really think he is their class act there at 6, but Wainwright's a good replacement. And Tipuric and Faletau have been very, very consistently high performers for Wales. Now halfback. I've gone for a big change here. Gareth Davies does some stuff well, but he does do some funny things, some funny errors, some silly decisions sometimes. So I'm going to start Hardy. Might as well. They still need to keep searching for this 9 now that Thomas Williams unfortunately is injured. And at 10 as well, Biggar. I'm actually dropping from the squad just because I want to see these other guys. We know what Biggar can do. He's okay. He's not spectacular. So let's get Sheedy in from the start. I am still concerned with his goal-kicking technique, but when you've got Halfpenny in the side, then you can just get him to take the kicks anyway, so that solves that one. Centres-wise will depend on injuries, of course, but hopefully North can come back. That would be great. I'll pair him up with Watkin, a very physical midfield. I thought, Tompkins does some really good things, but he can get caught out with his size sometimes, can get wrapped up, etc. So I'll go with the power of Watkin and North this time round. And back 3, I think it's an easy choice of Liam Williams, Louis Rees-Zammit and Halfpenny. A really, really good mix of pace and also a tackling ability, aerial ability. So it's a good Welsh side. Obviously, I'm taking a punt there on the halfbacks. I'd like to know what you guys think Wales should do at halfbacks. That's a tricky one. And then on the bench, pretty much as is, depending on Navidi's fitness, depends on who goes on the bench to cover back row. Gareth Davies covering 9, and I'd have Jared Evans covering 10. Let's see him. Let's see what he can do. He's in good form. We know he's got talent. So let's see him in this championship. And then Halaholo just edging out Tompkins on the bench probably. Okay, let me know what you think of that Welsh side. On to England. Now, Mako I'm not going to start. I don't know how fit he is, but I said going into the game against Italy, I was worried about him coming back from his Achilles. And indeed, when he went off, he was straight on icing that Achilles, which is not a good sign. Genge had a real mixed bag. A lot of stuff didn't go his way. He probably didn't play as bad as kind of the results of his performance kind of showed. He got double tackled a few times, but he's very keen. I think he's still got lots of potential. So let's give him a start. Urbano on the bench. Let's Mako just rest until that Achilles is 100% right. At hooker, what will Eddie Jones do? Well, I'd go for Luke Cowan-Dickie for sure. I thought his performance last time round against Italy was amazing. Eddie will probably go for George though, won't he? And at tight head, looking better at tight head now. We've got Carl Sinclair back. Looked good last time out versus Italy. He should be ready to go. So that's really good news. And Stewart I rate highly as well on the bench. So that's really good for England there at tight head. A very important position, of course. Let's keep rolling with Itoje and Hill. It's a good pairing. Hill's just growing into the international game. I think the more games he can get under his belt, the better. They're both the same age. They're both very physical. They've got great builds for second row. So I think keep that rolling. And I am keeping Courtney Laws at 6. Now that Jack Willis is out injured, although injury not as quite as bad as I'd first thought. So that's good news. I'd definitely try Ben Earl at 8. A shame we don't have Sam Simmons in the squad. If you'd watched him for Exeter the other day, he was unbelievable. But anyway, so let's try Earl at 8. I think he's a real quality player who needs some more time, and Curry at 7. And I like the balance of that back row of Laws, Curry and Earl. And at half-back, Young's actually, I'm dropping out of the squad. I just don't think he's done enough to merit his place in the squad at the moment. Maybe he'll fight his way back into it. Robson came on and finally looked really good against Italy, the best I've seen him so far, so let's give him a start. And my goodness, let's get Randall on the bench, get him his cap, just so England can actually keep hold of him as well, but also because I think he's potentially their best scrum half. And you saw what happened when George Ford went to 10. The same sort of thing could happen if Harry Randall went to 9, the game speeding up massively and the attack looking better. Okay, at 12, it's probably going to be Farrell, of course, but I really think Lawrence should play, absolutely. And I think Slade has done enough. It's been a bit of a mixed bag for Slade, but I really think, he's a good balance with Lawrence as you add that skill as well to the power element. Farrell I'm putting onto the bench. I think, he is the only other 10, plus his leadership is important in that squad, so I'm not dropping him out of the 23 completely. In the back three, let's give Malins a role at fullback. May and Watson did well last week, particularly Watson. But Daly, he's out of the squad until he commits to tackles like a proper back three. I just can't see him starting. For me, I wouldn't start him until he sorts it out. Okay, let's go through the Irish team versus Italy. The one change in the front row, I'd go for Kelleher. Around the park, he's fantastic. Sure, he's got some way to go to develop, maybe in the line-out, for example. Herring's excellent in the set piece, but he's nowhere near Kelleher in the loose, so let's start giving Kelleher a bit more experience, especially against Italy. Healy and Porter have been going very well, but I do expect Tyke Furlong to come back into it and probably take the starting spot at some point, but not yet. Second row is tricky. Ian Henderson and Ryan I'm pairing together, assuming Ryan is back fit, which he should be. I'm not going to drop Byrne completely. He's going to go to 6. I think he's been excellent. A bit tough on Ruddock, he's dropped to the bench. But again, I'm putting 2 back rows on the bench, Ruddock and Connors, because Byrne can cover second row. Van der Fleer and Stander have been working very hard. But I do want to see a little bit more ball handling from some of these guys if Ireland are really going to start opening up the defences. At 9, if Murray is back, I think he goes straight in. If not, I'd start Casey. Ireland need to find a spark in attack. They've been very efficient, very organised, but they need a bit more than that. We've seen a lot of Gibson Park, some good stuff and some not so good stuff. So he goes on the bench potentially if Murray's not fit. If Murray is fit, then Gibson Park has a rest for this game. At 10, well, Sexton comes back. If he's fit, he's definitely Ireland's best 10. Burns' kicking isn't really good enough, so he drops out of the squad. For the way that Ireland play at the moment, I'd actually put Ross Byrne on the bench, or even starting if Sexton isn't fit. Interestingly, I actually watched one of Sexton's early games. I think it was his debut game on YouTube the other day. And my goodness, he was quick, sidesteps, launching counterattacks, all the stuff that he just can't do anymore now he's older. Just shows you that Ireland really need to find a new 10. Not that Sexton isn't good enough, he is their best 10. It's just compared to Sexton in the old days, he's a shadow of his former self, athletically at least. But if he's fit, he starts. Centres is easy. Henshaw and Ringrose have been amazing. But I am changing both wingers. I think Lama and Conway deserve a go. Lowe and Earls, not quite cutting it at the moment. Lowe's just making too many mistakes. And Earls isn't getting into the game, particularly because Ireland aren't really using him, I know. But I just want to see Conway and Lama get a crack. I don't think Lowe and Earls have been saying that they should start every game with their performances. Keenan, however, has been very consistent, very classy. He stays at 15, easily their best choice there at the moment. And bench, as I mentioned, apart from Daly, is the outside backs replacement. I think we need to see him in the squad, see what he can do. He's probably the future. Then we come to France versus Scotland. Tough assignment for Scotland away from home, but it's a very settled side, as you can see, apart from obviously Xander Ferguson being suspended for the rest of the Six Nations, which is a blow. But Nell comes in, who's very solid. I think Bergen comes in onto the bench. Sutherland and Turner have been going well. Gray and Cummings as well. Hopefully Ritchie is back. That would be a big boost. Thompson would drop out of the 23. I don't think he really stands up to Ritchie on quality. I think it was only muscle tightness for Richie anyway, so he should be back, which is great. Along with Hamish Watson, who's just been on fire. Matt Fageson's been very athletic. Gave away a few too many penalties last time, but been performing well. As is Price, Russell was excellent last time out. Now, is Redpath going to be fit? I probably don't think so with his neck injury, so it'll be Lang and Harris again. Van der Merwe, obviously, who's been tearing it up. Darcy Graham's looked very dangerous, and Hogg's just been on supreme all-round form. And the backs, the only change there, Bergen coming in. Richie Gray's looked good off the bench. I want to see more of Gary Graham as well. Van der Vault hasn't had a look in yet because Finn Russell's Finn Russell. He's probably too good. And Hugh Jones, very close to a start, but the other guys in his positions have been playing so well. But he is a very good outside back sub. Okay, guys, let me know what you think of all those selections, what you would change, and how you see these games going. And I'll catch you guys next time.